and some voters are already running into issues. Savannah Fish is live in Grand Rapids, where some voters are actually concerned about the security of their ballots. Savannah?
Yeah, good morning to the both of you. Well, we expected long lines, things like that on election day, but now what we're learning is that there's actually some malfunctioning machines inside of polling locations in Grand Rapids, and that's what we're learning right now, and some voters here in West Michigan are concerned about it. We spoke with April Siebold, who said she and many others showed up here to North Park Elementary in Grand Rapids, and when they arrived to vote, they found out that the tabulator was not working. April says she was told to place her ballot in the tabulator box for it to be counted later, but she is now concerned on what happens with her ballot now that she can't see it be counted.
It's disappointing is that, they've got all these established on Plainfield. I could have went to a drop box and done the same thing I did here. I don't feel like my vote actually counted. And I wanted that closure, and I wanted my vote to count, and I wanted to see it go in the machine. I wanted to know that it was my voice counts. And I think that we're going to run into a lot of problems, and a lot of the people that were there had that same idea.
In a statement, the Michigan Secretary of State's office said, quote, "When the tabulator does not work, the ballot is put in an auxiliary bin and is later placed through the tabulator by a bipartisan team of election inspectors. There's no chance for fraud to occur with them, and the ballots are secure," end quote. Now, we also spoke to Grand Rapids City Clerk Joel Hondorp, who says issues like this are not uncommon. Since learning about the issue here inside of this polling location, they actually did take some action and fix it. Memory cards or cards that are inside the tabulator had to be replaced, and now those ballots that were not counted earlier are being scanned by the tabulator. But when I spoke to Hondorp about this issue, I brought up another issue that April had mentioned to me, saying that these polling booths inside of this polling location are not social distance. Here's what he had to say.
We do have a couple of the because of the booth designs that we have. A couple of them are a little bit closer. So we're trying to keep people distanced, but we want to get people voting as well. So so some of the booth designs have two next to each other. So we're trying to use all the equipment we have, or if we didn't have that, then we could have less people voting.
Now, as you could hear, Hondorp did confirm, saying that voting booths are close together inside this voting location, despite the 6-foot social distance guidelines. When this issue was brought up from April and then confirmed by Hondorp, I went to the CDC website, which has very clear recommendations saying that it clearly states distance should be increased between voting booths to ensure that voters remain 6 feet apart. So definitely a situation here. Hondorp also confirming that that's what they're doing here to get more voters in voting, but definitely an issue that should be addressed. So reporting live in Grand Rapids, Savannah Fish, Fox 17 News.
Savannah, thanks. Another polling location having some issues in Ottawa County this morning. City Clerk Justin Robach confirms voting at St. Patrick's Church in Grand Haven was delayed for about 15 minutes. He says things were not set up in time due to an issue with the automatic doors locking election workers out of the precinct.